Bad feeling about this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of The Y-Wing. I am your host, Nephilim, aka The Y-Wing. Today, we talk about Respawn making their first Star Wars Mandalorian game. Samuel Jackson claims that Mace Windu is in fact alive, and now Star Wars has a reason to bring Boba Fett back after his claimed Disney Plus disaster. Welcome, everyone. Let's introduce our guest. How you guys doing tonight?
Hello.
Hello. I'm good, I guess.
We'll go in screen order on my Discord. Indy, how about you go first?
All right, I'm Indiana. Nice to meet y'all. I'm doing good tonight. How y'all?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. I'm excited. We've been trying to do this for a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Trying to get this together, and we're finally getting it off the ground. Zay, how you doing?
I'm tired. But I have hot water again, so I'm happy.
That's a whole other thing.
I know. I'm not gonna go into it anymore.
And then finally we have famous streamer, best man, Mattchuprime. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing okay. I slept the whole day, so I'm rested.
All right, I'll take back the best guy comment. It's kind of a slug.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, Matt's the best, the famous streamer, huh? And I'm just sitting over here like
No.
chopped liver. All right.
Yeah, I know. I didn't mention you two at all. You guys are just dudes.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, that's fine.
It's the irony.
I told you to introduce yourself, Indy. You got to sell yourself, bud. I actually think Indy probably has the best following out of all of us.
I don't
deserves
know.
He deserves it.
I try. I'm a decent streamer. I play pretty much anything under the sun. I don't have.
I like that
anything
Skull and Bones
specific.
stream you were doing. What was the last
Bro,
one?
Skull and Bones is. I ran out of stuff to do. I've done everything you can do, and I've run out of stuff. It is such a great game. I love Skull and Bones. So much.
I heard it doesn't do like half the things that you can just do in Black Flag. I see a lot of people comparing it to Black Flag.
It is exactly like Black Flag. It's just instead of getting out and being an assassin and pirating a ship, you just pirate a ship and then you just blow stuff up.
I hear there's also supposed to be like a remaster of Black Flag coming out this year.
There is.
Too,
I
right?
hope that sounds great.
There is. Ubisoft already confirmed it. Kind of, sort of.
I gotta be honest, by the way, Indy, you are the first person that I have heard with good reviews for Skull and Bones.
Yeah, I was about to say I've heard a lot of negative reviews for it.
You have to play it.
That's fair.
You can't just read the reviews.
Speaking of video games, we're gonna move to our first topic.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Respawn is developing a first-person Star Wars Mandalorian game. So you guys know Respawn; they're the developers behind Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
And Titanfall.
I was about to say, don't forget about Titanfall.
And so they're making another game. What are you guys' thoughts on this so far?
So, I don't want to be the one to always go first, but I will say, because I have a long history with Respawn, if it plays anything like Titanfall or any of their other first-person games they've made, which is Titanfall 2, off the top of my head. Apex is good, but Apex is kind of because it's Battle Royale. But if it plays anything like especially the second Titanfall, if it plays a modicum of similarity of Titanfall 2, it'll be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So,
I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment.
I think it'd be really fun. So I honestly think that this is an interesting topic. You know, we're all gamers, we're all Star Wars nerds, so this hits two of our big things. I love the idea of a Mandalorian like shooter game, right? Like it's something that I think has been kind of missing for a while, especially ever since The Mandalorian came out. However, some of the things in this article, in both of them actually, it kind of, I don't know how I feel about it, right? Because they're talking about the game's high mobility and stuff like that, which is totally fine. You're a Mandalorian with a jetpack. But what I don't like in the new one, the source article that you sent us, it says sources described the game as, quote, very fast paced, end quote, and as such will reward players who play in this style. For example, the player's health will mainly regenerate based on successive kills.
Yep, that's right here.
So that seems weird to me. Because, like, if you're trying to go for, like, a more bounty hunter thing, it should be more of like an economy driven thing and less like oh, let's go rail shooter and move around and shoot a bunch of people real quick. So I'm excited to see where it goes, but based entirely on some of the wording that they've chosen to describe some of it, I'm reserving some of my higher hopes on it.
Kind of
it's
seems
like-
like what's that game? What was that game? Ghost Warrior 2, I think.
I never played it.
I have
where
no
you're-
idea. I don't
Like
know.
that really or like Ultra Kill, I guess would be a better one to say.
I mean,
Yeah.
so going off of another Respawn title, Apex has a lot of mobility, right? Like it can be a very fast-paced game with the movement and stuff, but it's a battle royale. It's supposed to be kind of fast-paced. There's not a lot of story to it outside of like the out-of-game lore. And so something that it just feels a little weird to me that they're talking about it being like a storytelling wise stuff to get like the jetpack and stuff. It's like, oh, that's really cool. And then it goes very fast paced. You regen health by killing a bunch of people. And it's like, okay, so that's weird. Because from what I understand, I didn't see it in this one, but it was something about it was supposedly based in like the Empire's rise to power.
Yeah, it's
right?
it's mid Empire.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I would rather have something that's more like oh
Probably
gosh,
something
what was
outside
that?
of the Empire's, like,
Oddworld
I don't-
Stranger's Wrath, right? Where you're a bounty
Stranger's
hunter.
Wrath was- that one was good.
I would love something like that as far as like the mechanics for going out, getting a bounty, going and hunting the bounty down, and then turning them in for money.
That's what they're going for from what I read it before. That's what they're aiming for with this game. It's essentially going to run off of like
Well,
that.
based on the first
It's
article,
just the regenerating health based on successive kills. That's
Yeah,
what gets
Sekiro
me,
does
and it's
that.
in both
Yeah, it's
articles.
perfect.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that turns it into a shoot 'em up kind of. If you want to look at it's going
Exactly.
to end up more like a shoot 'em up
Yeah.
with that. I think it's doable. Yeah, the successive kills thing could be a problem, but the best thing I can think to compare this to, do you guys remember the Jango Fett game, Bounty Hunter?
Yeah,
No.
Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, one of the best LucasArts
Best fucking
titles.
Star Wars games.
Yeah. That's what I think you probably compare this to the most, except it'll be in first person. It's Respawn, so like Survivor and Order, I think one of the few things that have been put out in the Disney era that I actually like.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah,
both those
Survivor
games are
Fallen Order are amazing.
fantastic.
They're written great, they play very well, and they're good stories. The games are great. I if any company was in charge of this, I'm glad it's Respawn, honestly.
Respawn. Yeah, exactly.
And as far as like Apex thing, as far as technicality is concerned, like you've watched people who actually play Apex and are very skilled at it. It's gorgeous gameplay to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. No.
It's an art form for people who
Like,
are really good at
I love
Apex.
Apex. The only reason I don't play it more is because I don't have people. But sorry.
No, you're fine. Keep going.
So I love Apex. I love the momentum and the feel to the movement and the gunplay in it. And if they keep some of that and retain it, but allow you to use like the Mandalorian's typical, move set with the jetpack, wrist rocket, stuff like that, that's good. The only hang up I have is that regenerating by successive kills. That's,
Okay,
that's the
all right.
only thing.
Zay. Have you played Sekiro?
No.
Okay. That's why you're getting hung up on it. In Sekiro, there is there's a portion of the game, once you get to it, you unlock these skill books for a certain skill set. I can't remember.
oh, I
exactly
know
what
what
they
you.
are.
Yeah, I know what you're.
And every time you get a kill, you get health based on based on your kill. Like you just getting a kill, you get health. You have to do just any kill, as long as it's a termination kill where it comes up. Oh no, I'm wounded. You can immediately you can execute him. You get the health back. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think you're gonna be based off you get the if you do and get specific kinds of kills, like, oh, I'm at a certain amount of health, and oh no, there's a guy, boom, perfect headshot, you get health back. I think you're just getting really hung up on the idea that it's a fast-paced, rewards players with health. That's exactly how it is in Sekiro. Because in Sekiro, you get surrounded quickly, easily, by a numerous amount of people, and it's real easy to get overwhelmed. And that health, the damage is no joke. But being able to regen health on kill is fantastic because, oh no, I've taken a hit. I'm going to execute this guy, get a half a health bar. I'm going to execute the next guy if I do it right. And you can just bounce around and do that, and you can fill up a whole health bar in 2 seconds.
I mean, I
It's
guess it
actually
really
balanced.
I'd have to see the actual mechanics in like
Yeah, we absolutely have to
practice.
see the mechanics. But if it's
Because-
anything like how it is in Sekiro, it should be fine.
I mean, because that makes enough sense. Like if you're planning on being in situations where you're surrounded by literal like hordes of enemies, right, and you're taking damage, and by killing them, you're keeping up by negating essentially some of the damage by regenning by killing them. That makes enough sense. And if they're going for that as far as a Mandalorian game like this, then that would make sense to me. But to me, the way they're describing like taking missions for the rebellion and the empire on that first article, which is kind of seems like speculation more than anything.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that, that doesn't seem like something where you're gonna be facing hordes of enemies, right? Like your thing should be there's like a target or a couple targets, and that's what you go for. Like I'm thinking something more along like the Hitman games, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that would feel more like what a Mandalorian would typically do. But obviously, you know, there would be a lot more combat because you're not trying to blend into a crowd. You're wearing a fucking suit of Beskar armor.
Yeah, Mandalorians don't blend.
Not very well. Other
yeah, isn't that the
Mandalorians.
point? They're not supposed to be blending in. You're supposed to know who they are.
Yeah, no, what you got?
I would like to point out that there's this part here in the article. Apparently, they have an update that they have since revealed that the guy who this guy said was directing isn't actually directing the game. So this
Yeah.
Jeff Grubb might not know shit. He might be completely wrong. So
Yeah, because I saw that the sources have since revealed that Alavi, or however you pronounce that, is not directing this game. It was instead directing a canceled Apex Legends game.
So I mean,
Fun fact: he apparently did the no Russian mission in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
really? Ooh,
Yep.
I didn't know that.
He's the guy behind that.
Neat.
He got a lot of controversy behind it because they were like, "What kind of psychopath can get into that mindset to do that?" And he was like, "Well, it's a game. Don't take it so seriously."
It's
dead serious.
a game about war. It's not
Like
supposed
dead
to be
serious.
friendly.
That's what he said. It's a game. You're supposed to enjoy. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. What's wrong with you people? It's just a video game. Which also started a lot of stuff that was like video games kill, like it causes people to kill people. But you know.
As far as like game development goes, there could be like a point where this whole regeneration based on kills thing ends up not being a thing at all. Like they could just scrap that later. So like I'm curious to see
True.
what more
I
happens
mean,
here.
Yeah, because right now we're probably not even like fully in the planning stage for this, right? Like they're
Probably like a
probably
bunch
still
of
just kind of
prototypes.
spitballing, and there's been like a couple interviews with some people being like, "So what's new around the office? What are you working on?" And they went, "The potential Star Wars Mandalorian thing," and people went, "Oh, more!"
There's
right? So they gave them whatever they had that
At
they
the-
could.
At this point in time, there's only one thing that I care about more than anything when it comes to a Star Wars title.
Tell us.
Fucking writing. I
Yeah.
Oh, please.
swear.
Oh,
They can make
Oh,
the game
God.
as pretty and as well as mechanics as well as they can, but if the story is ass, I'm gonna hate
It's
the
gonna
game.
be bad. Yeah.
exactly.
Which is why I'm hoping that
Exactly.
if
It's
they-
a damn Star Wars game. You can't have a fucking like, oh, I have lightsaber. You can't just put like, so I'm sorry, Star Wars Connect. I has lightsabers. That's it. No, it's terrible. The mechanics are garbage. There was no story. It was just fucking Han Solo. I'm Han Solo.
Yeah,
I'm Han Solo.
how
no,
dare
done.
you besmirch the great "I'm Han Solo" song?
No, that
Unbelievable!
song's amazing.
I'm kicking you
I'm
right
just
now.
saying that was the best thing out of it. That
Oh,
was
okay.
the best thing out of it.
Okay,
The
okay, you're
lightsaber,
right.
like that was the best thing out of it because the lightsabers were flimsy. It was finicky. They just thought, oh, we put Star Wars and lightsabers, so we make money. No,
But-
garbage. Now the Han Solo dance shit, that was fun.
I hope they
But-
put the same. If they put the same team behind the Jedi games as the writing team, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah, they should.
I mean,
Also,
you know, there's been
on
cases
the-
where like bad writing doesn't interfere with the game as long as the gameplay more than makes up for it. But I mean, again,
no,
it is a Star Wars.
I have to disagree with you there. The game can play and be amazing, but if the storyline makes no sense and is
Then it's
just
garbage.
straight trash, there's no amount of like, wow, this is the best shooting mechanic I've ever had that it makes up for. Where the hell did I get a daughter and why is she now dead? When did this happen?
All right. I
Okay,
have one.
I mean, yeah, if
I have
that
a
kind of
game
shit
I can
happens,
call.
I agree.
I have a game for that. I have a game for that. Kingdom Come
Oh.
Deliverance.
Great game,
worst-
shitty story.
How did I know he was going down this road?
Terrible. It's not even that. It's like I played it. I was like I tried it before. I played it forever ago. It was like 3 or 4 years ago when it first came out. I was like, they had it on the Game Pass. Like, I'll try it. It's free. And then I was like, I didn't give it a fair shake because I was like, this is the worst fucking game I've ever played. So I didn't give it a fair shake. I felt like, so I went back a couple months ago, like about a month ago, and I bought it. was like $50. Bought it. And I was like, all right, fine. I got the special edition version and all the DLC. I tried playing it. It was still horrible. I put 3 hours into it and I'm like, fucking kill me. Please. I can't do it. It's so bad. Oh, you have to steal something by crouch walking and oh no, you stepped on a plate that was somehow on the wall, but now it's on the floor and now it's clipping through the... What is this, Bethesda? Did they make this? No, it was some random... Well, okay, well now I stepped on, made a random noise and now some guy's charging at me from down the hall. I don't know where he came from. He's got a fucking shotgun, essentially. It's a pitchfork with, like, he hits you and does so much damage. It's like, why? And then you have to box him, and the boxing mechanic is like, oh, you're like a level 2 fist fighter, but this guy is like, I don't know, God, and if he touches you, you die.
I don't know, God.
Well, it's the first mission! It's the first mission you have to do after you get out of the whole tutorial, and the tutorial is 2 hours long!
How long, guys, how long have we known Indy? I've never known he's had this distinct hidden rage for Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I hate that
he
game!
and I got into it one of the last times we talked.
I hate it. It's the worst game I've ever... It gives me a goddamn panic attack thinking about how I'm just trying to parry and block and then parry and punch, block, parry. Oh no, he's hit. Oh, grab me again. And the grabbing. Oh my god, the grabbing. I'm gonna punch you.
I like to see an animation of this of him just having.
He just grabs you, and then he just twists your arm, punches you in the face. You try to punch, grabs you, punches you in the face. Okay, well I'm gonna take my sword up. No, I'm gonna grab you, kick you in the face, throw you on the ground. I'm gonna stomp on you, and you're dead. Like, I'm sorry.
I own Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I've never
terrible.
opened it.
I don't think I've ever played it either. I have it. I'm like, how do I mod? Can I mod this?
I know it exists, but I've never had any.
I literally see it right now on my desktop.
Like, I read the reviews again. I read the reviews, and I was like, oh man, maybe I didn't give this a fair shake. There's so many people who are like, no, those fucking people don't know what a good game is. They're like, oh, the mechanics, if you can't figure it out, you're just bad. No, it's a bad fucking game. And you're mad at yourself for spending $50 on a fucking what is essentially a fucking pyramid scheme of a fucking game. Like, oh no, you gotta raise your stats, but you gotta start it low and you gotta work your way up, but you never get to work your way up. No matter how much you do, you can work your way up for 1,000 years. You could be fucking tied to, get fucking circuits attached to your brain, be wired into the network to play this game till the day the sun goes out, and you'll never get anywhere in that game.
God damn!
I hate it. I hate that game.
Well, so
someone was like, play it. I was like, no, won't do it.
To change us back to both good games and Star Wars games, have you guys heard the good news?
Which one?
No, tell me the good news.
They're re-releasing the original Battlefront 1 and 2.
Battlefront 1 and 2. Oh my god, I love $39.
64 player lobbies.
We are playing that together, fellas. We're gonna be like it's middle school and we're in our pajamas playing that game, buddy.
You know what my favorite thing is? I have a hard copy of the original Xbox version of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I have my PS2 copy. It's on my library right now. I have it.
Yeah, I have the PS2 copy, and I actually do have the PC version, the one that they fixed the servers for, so that you're allowed to use them.
But I thought they shut down the servers fairly recently for the original stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't played it in a while, but they did revamp the servers at one point.
It was like last year.
We're getting Jomi. We're gonna get Finn.
Servers.
We're gonna have a whole party. We're just gonna play.
There's 64 player lobbies.
Yeah, we're playing that together. I can't wait for that.
You want to know what my favorite thing about this is? I never got to play that game online with other people.
Me neither.
We didn't have Xbox Live back then because it was way too weird and expensive, and the internet was still early. So I played some split screen with a couple of guys.
Oh, that game!
I played way back in the fucking day. And then my favorite part about this game specifically, I look back on it and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would like it as much. Because I used cheat codes all the time. I bought a book of cheat codes at a Scholastic book fair and used it on this game.
The Scholastic book fair. Oh man.
Oh my god. That unlocked a memory.
Like my age. Like here's the problem. I hate that I did that because I feel like it ruined the experience of the game for me. Nah. But I
didn't know there was
loved
cheat codes.
That game.
I didn't know there were cheat codes. I just played the game.
There's a I can go find that book. I think
I think
it's
one of
either
them
here
was the
or
one
it's
that
at my
made you have like a
parents' house.
giant head or something like that. Was one of
No,
them.
there's like infinite ammo, immortality. You can play as whatever fucking hero for the whole match if you
that one
wanted
I
to.
remember.
And it's literally just you go into the menu and you hit up a couple buttons in the thing and you'll hear a little doo-doo-doo and it's like, oh hey, I got it.
You know what's gonna be crazy, guys? The meta for the game is gonna be insane. Because you remember when you were playing against computers and you would do space battles, right? You wouldn't bother dogfighting. You would just fly into their hangar and blow up everything on the inside. Everyone's gonna be trying to do that, so no one's gonna be in
so much fun.
space.
No one. We're all gonna be trying to board each other.
Because that's the meta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I do
no,
wonder how the balance is
no.
gonna go.
Here's the best part: when that game drops, there are gonna be people who have never even considered that to be a game. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I never heard of this." They're gonna be kids that are like, they're gonna come up and be like, "Mommy, I want to play this Star Wars game." They're like, "Okay, sweetie," and then they're gonna get online, and then we're gonna put them through the fucking blender.
I'll fair this out. That's one of the
thing I'm looking
I
forward
think
to.
Battlefront 2 is probably the best Star Wars game ever made.
Oh yeah, no,
absolutely.
Without question.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm looking forward to the most off of this is I get to play Galactic Conquest again.
Oh,
yeah,
right?
baby.
The best! Dude, no, Galactic Conquest was the best game mode in that.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
okay, the Mos Eisley where every character was a hero character was fun. It was
Mos Eisley
cool
Assault,
for what
baby.
it was.
Also, you could do Hoth Hunt. Hoth Hunt. Stormtroopers versus Wampas.
But Galactic Conquest.
But Galactic Conquest, I love it.
That's all I have to say.
We're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have fun. That's gonna be a fun
Oh
one.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so as far as Respawn goes, to tie us back to this before we move on, the beautiful thing about like a game development company is they're not as beholden to like Disney reaching their hands in, which is probably I think probably why those Jedi games were so well made, because they basically kept it entirely in studio.
Yeah, Disney didn't really have anything to do with it.
Yeah, Disney has like a little bit of input, but they don't have to. They're not like Kathleen Kennedy, like being on set of The Mandalorian, changing everything while she's there. Like, because there's so much that goes into making a game. Like, if you have a couple lunatics on the development, it doesn't ruin the whole game. You know?
Yeah, it's just there's a couple of crazies, but it's no big deal.
It takes the whole. You have the whole company would have to be crazy for the game to end up being like out insanely
Really bad.
bad. So,
Or as
I
a
have-
publisher.
I have high hopes for this game. I hope it's good. It's especially since they scrapped the KOTOR remake.
Yeah, that kind of made me sad.
did?
Yeah, they did.
Damn it. Oh, that sucks. I didn't hear about that. Damn it.
I did.
All right.
It made me sad. I was like, no, I love that
Well,
game.
okay. It is delayed indefinitely, which means it's canceled.
Oh,
It's canceled.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I heard.
it's not
Delayed
coming.
indefinitely. Okay, I do remember that. That specific wording jogged a memory for some fucking reason. ADHD. Woo.
So yeah, that's it for that. So that was the good. We have the good, the bad, and the ugly today. We're gonna move on to the bad now. Let's move on to this
Tell
one.
us.
Samuel Jackson wants a Disney Plus show for Mace Windu. He's not dead. Exclusive.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's been saying that for years, though, and they've been kind of ignoring him.
I feel like he's just saying that just to generate
get hype.
the press for
I
I think
it.
he's just trying to fuck
Maybe.
with Disney.
But
yeah, that would be fun.
here,
I've explored this entire like scenario with friends and other nerds before though, because like he got his arm cut off, he got electrocuted, he fell off a building. We've seen people survive worse.
no, at this point in time, I wouldn't believe anyone's dead unless they get beheaded on camera in a Star Wars show.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause apparently you can just
And
get
it's
stabbed
like
and
we
live.
got to their head in time and was able to clone his brain out of it and make another version of himself. Like there's a whole thing they could fucking do, and because like Palpatine should have been vaporized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should have been nothing left of him to clone.
Well, no, because of that, he had already. No, it's because he already had it all set up. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, technically, he was one of those dudes who was obsessed with like his own immortality and the whole cloning experiments in Camino.
No,
Yeah,
that's
Star
canon.
Wars
It
could've survived
It was a
already
good
doing that.
lead into it. The way they portrayed the whole like him being there, it didn't seem like he was originally a clone, and that's what fucked me up on that.
Yeah, the damage and everything to him.
I'm
it was
looking at
just
the
like-
article right here. Sure, his hand was sliced off by Anakin, and he was seriously sizzled by Palpatine's Force lightning before being flung from a window into the Coruscant sky. But in the Star Wars galaxy, is that really enough to kill the coolest Jedi? First of all, Mace Windu's not the coolest Jedi. Qui-Gon Jinn's the coolest Jedi.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Qui-Gon.
Well, yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn all the
Period.
way.
Qui-Gon's the only one that deserves to be called a Jedi by
Mace
the end
is
of that
definitely
series.
top 5, though, because, like...
Ben
Oh,
Kenobi was a Jedi. Obi-Wan was still kind of figuring it out. Ben Kenobi was more... he was pretty much exactly what Qui-Gon was to a point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Old age does that to somebody.
Yeah, except
though,
in
let's
Disney
be
when he
real.
just decided to stop training and...
That's
Be sad.
fair. I still haven't
Depression's
finished
a thing,
Kenobi,
Neffy.
What was that?
and I don't know
Depression
how to
is
go
a
about
thing.
it. Depression is a thing.
Not
I
when
had
you're... not-
PTSD. I had to set my friend on fire in lava, and I amputated a couple of his limbs. I'm sad now.
Not when you're a Jedi
Bro,
Master, it's
what?
not a thing.
No, well, you would think,
Yeah,
but
I mean, it
had
shouldn't
to
be a
have
thing, but he
something.
is still human.
Here's the thing, all right? Like, okay, here we're going to take Neffy's 45 minutes to rant about Kenobi because I hate that show. The way they go about it, sure, you can go from an angle where he's trying to get over everything that happened with Anakin, but you can't have him telling Owen that someday I'm going to have to train Luke and not fucking train himself.
yeah,
He
that's
just
true,
stopped.
that's true.
He just stopped training. He stopped meditating. He buried his lightsaber in a desert, and he forgot. Couldn't even use the Force when he needed to. So I call bullshit that he was planning on training Luke. Dude wasn't even
Yeah.
training himself.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
no, I
he
agree with
like
that one.
knew that he wasn't in the right mindset though, and he needed to like sort shit out.
He wasn't trying
No,
to.
I
That
call
was,
bullshit.
that was just the thing.
Yeah.
I call bullshit.
It's a
'Cause-
plot hole for sure, no
I
matter
will,
how you
I
look
will
at
live
it.
to this day that they should have just adapted the John Jackson Miller novel. If they really wanted to include Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, they could have just had him do his own thing separately. Could have been
Yeah.
parallel plots going on, and it would have been a fine show.
I mean, like the whole thing with the old man Ben and Vader fight in episode 4 was essentially, once you found out their histories, that was the first time they were supposed to have seen each other
Yeah.
since he left him for dead on Mustafar.
Yeah, that was it. And then
That
but
was
they-
the whole
yeah.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. Plot holes, man.
Yeah, there's too many plot. I hate that show. I hate Kenobi's the worst thing that's come out. I don't care. what
Okay, so
anyone
I'm gonna
says.
say I'm gonna say something controversial for that. I actually liked the show.
There are a couple. I'll admit.
I didn't compare it to anything. I was just like, oh,
If
this
you
is
think
the
it's
Star.
an-
I didn't say, oh, this is Star Wars. I didn't like pinch it to every little fucking Star Wars thing that happened. I just, oh, it's a show, and I watched it.
I love
was
the
like,
you-
theory
you
that
enjoyed
it's
it
in
as,
an
like, a
alternate
show.
timeline or alternate universe.
As much as I hate the show, there are cool scenes.
Yeah,
The-
I thought there was some stuff in there that was pretty cool.
I thought the Kenobi versus Vader fight was pretty cool, and it literally ended the same way Ahsoka fights him in Rebels, but they just copied that from
I mean,
Rebels.
could you
Yeah.
imagine if that fight wasn't good though?
But then
like
they
the
edited
crux of it all.
They edited it with Obi-Wan just being like, "Nah, I'm just gonna leave you here. Bye."
So, you said a name for a show that I have refused to watch because, on principle, I hate it.
And like I also hate Ahsoka. I don't hate Ahsoka as much as I hate Kenobi, but it's up there. It's
I
up
can't
there.
do it. I can't do it.
I didn't know that was a show till
can't.
just now.
Really? Oh, you lucked out. You lucked out, Indy. That show is dog ass.
First and foremost, and I know this might come off as potentially weird, but their casting for Ahsoka as Rosario Dawson is terrible. Terrible casting.
Here's the thing.
Why am I always the one? I liked her.
I love her as an actress.
I think she did an okay job in Mandalorian season 2.
Mandalorian,
Like
yeah.
I can see her as
I
Ahsoka.
don't-
Granted, here's the thing. Ahsoka's kind of supposed to be a little more like mobile. Rosario Dawson's
Yeah.
kind of up there in years. She's not that mobile. And when
There's other reasons.
when she's a one-off in an episode of Mandalorian, you can like, okay, cool. She's got the stoic personality. That's cool for a stand-in character for just a cameo. When she's the main character of the show and she shows zero emotion throughout the entire show, she's just a blank of wood. I hate it. It's bad. She's not a bad actress. She's just
Gargle in the bucket, plank.
yeah, she's not a bad actress. It's just like, yeah, like you said, the casting, I liked it at first. Now I think it was a bad idea. It wasn't good casting.
I also think
Honestly, the girl,
and-
the little girl who played her young version in a flashback in Ahsoka did a much better job acting than Rosario Dawson did.
So I do have to say this too. It's kind of me just being a little nitpicky on it though. But like the I forget what the hell they're called. What are they called? The headpieces on the Togruta. Right?
Oh,
they're
they're just head tails, I think.
the
is what they're
tentacle
called.
things.
Yeah.
They're supposed to get bigger. Like they never stop growing, but somehow they're smaller on Rosario Dawson than they were the last time we saw her in Rebels.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
So that's a whole thing, but that's just me.
That's
being
kind of like
nitpicky.
nitpicking the whole Vader's armor thing that people like in Kenobi. Vader's armor is entirely wrong.
Yeah. it
Or at
is.
the end
I will
of
say that.
at the end of Rogue One, when all the lights for his life support system are off.
Oh yeah, should be dead. Motherfucker should be dead.
Like I love the headcanon people came up with where they were just like, he wanted to terrify them, so he turned off his own life support to scare them.
Okay,
This-
no, but
this
see,
is
here's the
me while
thing. Here's the
wheezing while
thing.
he's
Okay,
fighting.
here's the thing about that though. I can 100% see Anakin doing that for fucking shock value.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yes, the dramatic.
He is an artist.
Because he's so fucking dramatic. Everything has got to be. It's got to be. He's gonna take the dial from 1, turn it to 11, rip the shit off. It's gotta be dramatic. Like when he's sitting in space and his cape is flowing. Like motherfucker, there's no wind in space. You're
He's
making
using
that
the Force
shit
to
wave
move it.
yourself.
The Force
He's
to
using the
flap.
Force to wave it.
Yeah,
That's what he's
he's
doing.
using the
That's one of my
Force to move
favorite
it.
fan theories in Rogue One is that he's using the Force to move his cape.
He has to because there's no fucking wind. There's no air in space. How is it moving?
That's
Well,
It's not
I mean,
because
to be
he's
fair,
moving.
the Star Wars universe space doesn't follow traditional rules because you also wouldn't hear all the sounds of the fights like you do.
You wouldn't, but that's not the problem. The problem is that physically everything in the universe in Star Wars universe works with physicality. It all works the way it's supposed to.
All
no,
of the
it
little
does for the
ships
most
flying
part.
around seem to have gravity though while they're flying.
Yes, they do, but that's fucking that can be argued with their fucking G drives that they have for the
Yeah,
lot of-
that-
lot-
I
lot
guess,
of
yeah,
stuff.
in the
tech-wise,
novels,
that
a
would
lot of
make-
the ships actually have gravity generators.
Yeah.
That way you
Yeah,
don't
but
so-
what's the point
that
of,
way
like,
you
a
don't
little
get
fighter having a gravity generator.
that way you don't get turned
No, you
around
don't.
when you're flying.
Yeah.
You'll always
So
know which
you're-
direction's
so
up.
when- Yeah.
It's yeah.
So
But
that makes
technically
sense.
no direction is up because if the bottom of your
True.
ship is always down,
It'll help
then
with
you're
positioning
always-
though.
Yeah,
down.
yeah. But Vader is 100%. I can see him standing in the corner, turns his shit off. Oh, this is gonna be great. Comes on the board.
This is gonna be so
I'm
great.
gonna kill you. Like, oh shit. I
Oh,
can see Vader.
Hey,
I can see him doing that.
hey, look at that! Hey, look, it's Ahsoka.
Oh god. That actually
moving
doesn't
back
look good
moving
at
back to
all.
the Sam Jackson bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so you guys might know this. Star Wars Theory, who's another another Star Wars podcasting channel, is he already is doing a show called Vader. It's an animated series, like a 3D animated series, and the essential plot for the second episode is Mace Windu is alive, and he's basically tearing through clone troopers, so they have to send Vader to kill him. Which, like, I would love the idea of a Mace Windu being alive show, but he has to die.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
At some point, he
There's-
has to.
There's
Yeah.
no way Mace Windu would sit out on the rebellion. I'm sorry.
Oh
No.
God, no.
So
Absolutely not.
he would have this. This is why I don't like Ahsoka's character, because Ahsoka also should have died. Ahsoka should have died in Rebels. I'm firmly believe that. I think she served her purpose as a character, and then she survives in Rebels, and then kind of just doesn't do anything for the entirety of the rebellion.
I mean, so the setup at the end of Rebels was good for what like could have been. I just think that the Disney Plus show was not what should have happened. Because like the whole idea of her and Sabine going out to find Ezra, that's a cool fucking thing. I really enjoyed that whole premise. I'm like, oh, that's cool. They're going off to find him, this whole thing. And then they announced that show, and I saw some shit, and I was just like, no, this ain't it.
You want
I'm
me
not
to
doing it.
spoil what happens in that quest?
I don't care. So yeah,
Do
go
you
ahead.
guys mind if I spoil what happens during that whole?
I don't even.
No, I
I'm
don't
never gonna
care.
see it.
They switch.
Huh?
So they go to the planet where Ezra and Thrawn were, and the way it works is Thrawn basically escapes with Ezra. Ezra's on the Star Destroyer. Ezra then sneaks away and goes to warn the rebellion, and then Sabine and Ahsoka end up on the planet where they were stranded. So they swap places.
That's dumb.
It is dumb. The whole that show is dumb.
It sounds dumb.
You're starting to catch on, Indy. Yeah, that show's dumb.
Yeah, no. See, I watched Bad Batch. I've seen Bad Batch. I've seen the original.
I have
Clone
not.
Wars.
I haven't seen Bad Batch at all.
I like Bad Batch. It's good.
don't know.
I haven't seen Rebels. I didn't know who Ezra was until someone said something. I was like, who the
You-
fuck
oh,
is
yeah.
that?
No,
you and a lot of
watched Rebels.
you and a lot of normie people who have never watched the cartoons, which means that you wouldn't know half the shit that's going on in Ahsoka, which is dumb that Dave Filoni filmed it that way.
So
Yeah,
it's
that
not
was
even
me.
so much that not watching the cartoons. Rebels was the first Disney Star Wars animated thing, right?
Yeah, it
like
was-
that was the
I've
first
watched-
thing they held. And it was literally on like Toon Disney growing up. Like it was supposed to be for younger kids, right? Oh, that's right. They did rebrand it Disney XD at that point. I was so used to
Either
being
way.
Toon Disney as growing
Yeah,
up.
it was
so-
Toon Disney for me too.
But I don't know. Rebels is fantastic. Like it starts off kind of like, oh, this is a hokey little kids show. It's all right, but it gets so good by the end of it.
Yeah, it's a good
But-
show, but the problem is they not a lot of people watched it. It's a very niche fan base for Rebels.
It is a very niche fan.
I enjoyed it too. It's one of my favorite Star Wars properties. Kanan is one of the best Jedi characters that have been
Dude,
written.
so good.
The Bendu thing's kind of weird, but you know,
I loved the Bendu because it was just a force being that was
Yeah.
neither good nor evil aligned. He was just a force being.
yeah. I think that a lot of those moments would. That's the problem that Ahsoka had. We're gonna get back to Mace Windu at some point, I'm sure, but we're ranting about Ahsoka while we're here. Ahsoka was filmed expecting people to give a shit about the characters because they assumed people watch Rebels, which they didn't. So like Hera, Sabine, Ezra, unless you've watched Rebels, they do nothing to set up the characters as themselves. In fact, Sabine comes off as a freaking bitch in the show, or in the Ahsoka show. Because the first thing
she was supposed to be better by then, though.
the
too.
first thing she does is they're holding a ceremony on Lothal, basically celebrating like the Empire being taken down. So like they're on Lothal. They brought back what's his name? The actor who plays the governor. Forgot his name. They brought him back.
Oh,
idea.
the dude who was
He's usually like army
the
generals
original
in shows.
Lando, wasn't he?
No, not the original Lando.
Is that the guy? Am I
I forgot
wrong?
his name.
Governor.
Let me see here. General in Rebels. Anyway, they brought him back, and he is essentially
that guy, that general. Okay.
he's running a ceremony, and they wonder where Sabine is because she's the only rebel who's still on Lothal. And she's basically running away. That's what's happening. She's
God,
ditching
of
the whole thing. She's taken off. And God, where the fuck is he?
I gotta admit though, seeing Zeb in I think it was Mando, wasn't it? It was in the Mandalorian that Zeb was.
Yeah, he was
Animated in?
He was actually, I think it was in Boba Fett. No, it was Mando season 3.
It was Mando.
It
Yeah.
was Mando season 3.
And it was awesome. That was so cool. I was so excited. And then everything that Ahsoka seems to be
Yeah. You know who probably should have been in Ahsoka?
Zeb.
Fucking Zeb. He's not.
That makes sense.
He's not there.
He's not there.
Yeah,
gone.
he disappeared. He doesn't exist.
Yeah, but to me,
But
that's
yeah, so
kind of-
she's shirking her duties. She essentially he has to go send out people to get her so she can show up for the freaking Ryder.
award.
Ryder, that's his name. Clancy Brown. That's the actor's name. He plays Governor Ryder. But yeah, so they track her down. She ends up almost making this dude crash his speeder bike. She is blatantly ignoring the ceremony. Who's supposed to be honoring her friends who are dead, by the way. Kanan is dead. Ezra is assumed to be dead. So she should be sad. She doesn't show up to honor the ceremony. So she's not portrayed well in her first showing. It's not well.
kind of forgot that
That's-
Kanan died.
That's a shame.
Hera is an incompetent general who can't command anyone and brings her infant son into dogfights. He's not an infant.
like
He's actually a kid.
That sounds like something that somebody named Hera would do. Sorry.
And then Ahsoka, for some weird reason,
She's a Twi'lek.
Ahsoka, for some weird reason, this is supposed to be about Mace Windu. We're talking about Ahsoka, but I got to get this rant out eventually. Ahsoka decides to train Sabine, who has absolutely zero Force sensitivity, to be a Jedi when she's a Mandalorian, who, like I said, has no Force sensitivity. Instead of training Jason Syndulla, who is the son of a literal Jedi, is the actual age you'd want to train a Padawan. And literally has force powers and is right there the whole time. Instead, she tries to train Sabine, an adult Mandalorian who has already shown that she lets her emotions control herself and has no force abilities. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Apparently they
Absolutely no one.
That's dumb as dog shit. What the hell? Who would do that?
Meanwhile, Ahsoka is traveling around with Hu Yang, the droid who helped Padawans assemble their lightsabers for hundreds of years, who literally on the ship that has all the lightsaber parts has like all the lore of the Jedi Order in his memory banks. You know who he's not with? The least important character to Disney Star Wars? Luke fucking Skywalker. He's not with him for some reason.
That kind of creates an issue.
Ahsoka makes it a point to say that she's not a Jedi. She constantly tells people, I'm not a Jedi. I was kicked out of the Order. Yet the droid who is dedicated to the Jedi Order has the entirety of the Order in his memory banks and has all the lightsaber parts, isn't with the guy who's trying to fucking rebuild the Jedi Order.
That is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that sums up the whole show. That doesn't make sense.
No, that's a sum enough for me to sit there and say, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I have literally zero interest in watching Ahsoka whatsoever.
Yeah, my point being is that bringing back legacy characters without having the guts to kill them off is a problem.
Yeah, if you're going to bring back a legacy character that should have died, you should just kill them off.
No one dies in Star Wars anymore, guys.
No, no one dies. Don't.
Except Han Solo.
Force.
Kylo Ren disappeared into the Force, and he's technically dead.
But that's not dying. That's not dying.
Well,
that's
it's Disney.
Assimilating with the Force.
They're not gonna. It's Disney now. They're not gonna be like, no, you can't show people die. I mean, to be fair, Disney owns fucking Indiana Jones too, and that actually
shot Han Solo.
Yeah, we don't talk about Indiana Jones.
Han Solo.
Yeah, how'd that last Indiana Jones film do?
I liked it.
I refuse to go watch it.
I went to go see it. I liked it.
It lost millions of dollars. A lot of people didn't.
Liked it.
Hey, good on you, buddy. Like the fact that you can disassociate enough to just sit down and enjoy. I refuse to watch that movie.
No, see what the trick is this is how I am able to enjoy things everyone else dislikes. I do not compare anything to anything ever. I don't say this is not like the first movie. This isn't like I sit there and say this is a movie and I watch it. That's it. So, I'm like, it's Indiana fucking Jones. I don't give a fuck if it's bad. It's Indiana fucking Jones. I don't care.
I have to throw this out there because some people get weird when I say this as far as Indiana Jones goes. I know we're way off topic. My first full sit down and watch through of an Indiana Jones movie was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. And yeah, I am very upset with you now.
My parents raised me on Star Wars.
That's
my
fair.
Mom's one of her favorite fucking movies was Raiders of the Lost Ark. We just never owned any of the Indiana Jones movies for anything. I watched them all for the first time when I was 22.
That's fair.
I remember watching Raiders of the Lost Ark and when I was like maybe 12, but I didn't ever sit through all of them. I wasn't ever a big Indiana Jones fan. Honestly, I can genuinely say Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Last Crusade are probably examples of one of the best sequels ever made. Last Crusade was the second one, right? Last Crusade was the second.
Second one is Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. No. So yeah, Temple of Doom.
It's
following.
Temple of Doom.
It's one of the best sequels ever made. Indiana Jones is probably one of the best trilogies ever made. It's up there with like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars.
Yeah,
but like I was never a big fan of them.
We did a drinking game with Raiders of the Lost Ark where you put a Santa hat on the corner of your TV because it was around Christmas, and every time it looks like someone's wearing the hat, you take a drink.
That's funny.
And there's a scene. No, there's a scene early on when they're still in the museum and they're like telling him shit, and it pans back to the exact same scene every time. And there's this one dude that's sitting where the hat is in the corner. So every time the camera panned back to them when they would respond, we'd go, drink, 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 drink. Oh my God, stop.
I'm going to get alcohol poisoning soon. I could see Samuel L. Jackson making a good movie. He's a fantastic actor, or TV show rather. I don't care what he does. I can see him doing something. Disney Plus, I don't fucking care. I'm still probably gonna watch it because it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about all the other shit because I tried like being interested. Like I haven't even seen Mandalorian season 3.
You've lucked out. It wasn't that good.
I think he
I
just
lost
wants to be
interest
a part
after
of the
two.
Star Wars universe again, just for shits and giggles. I think is what it
He,
ultimately.
I mean,
is.
he got himself a purple lightsaber just because he didn't want to use
just
any
because
other
he
color.
wanted to use purple lightsaber.
And it
So-
supposedly has bad motherfucker written on the handle. So
Here's what they could do that I would find interesting. And this goes back to my original plan that Disney should have done from the beginning is adapt the books. Adapt the books. You can't have Samuel Jackson do a Shatterpoint movie. He's too old now. He can't. You could try de-aging him. It might not look great. What you could do is do an animated movie. It works for DC. It can work for Star Wars.
true.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hey, get Tartakovsky to do it. That'd be great.
Dude, Tartakovsky would be fucking amazing.
Do a Shatterpoint movie because that is peak Mace Windu fiction. God damn, Shatterpoint was a great book. Yeah, that would be it. If you could do a Shatterpoint movie, animated, hell, dude, make Tartakovsky animated. That would be awesome. Or just any other animator because it works for DC. DC has great animated movies.
They do.
Their cinematic universe fucking sucks, but
To be fair, DC and Marvel kind of started off as animated stuff.
Marvel
top
doesn't
of
do
the
animated
comics.
movies anymore, which upsets me because
They don't. They need to because God, some of them are
dude,
good.
Hulk versus the original Ultimate Avengers movies.
Oh my god, I love that
The
shit.
Planet
next
Hulk?
Avengers. Oh, those movies were great.
I love that shit so much.
My first introduction to Ant-Man was Ultimate Avengers.
My first introduction to Deadpool was Hulk versus Wolverine.
Right?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, if Disney did that, that's the only other thing I think they could do Mace Windu movie justice, and you have Sam voice it. There you go. He can voice act.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
he's
mean, and
busy.
he's been proven to be a good voice actor. He was.
Oh, he's a
fucking-
fantastic. He's fucking Afro Samurai.
and that's the one I was gonna say was, dude, the lineup for that anime was badass. Ron
Oh,
Perlman,
or-
Samuel L.
oh,
Jackson. Fuck
amazing.
yeah, dude.
Or you could also
But
get
no.
the guy who voiced him in Clone Wars. That works too. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing more Mace Windu stuff, but you got to do Clone Wars era stuff. Don't bring him back. I'm fine
But
with
like,
him being
if,
dead.
if Sam Jackson is involved in this, right? Like, he's obviously gonna have like a fairly strong opinion on it, and he's not someone to just be swayed by like a company telling him what to do.
They wouldn't
That's
let
kinda
him do
whole
his character
shtick.
dirty. That is important. I think if he did a project where they would just basically emasculate Mace Windu, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, like they
No,
hand
he
him
would
a-
absolutely not.
They
do it.
hand him a fucking script, and he goes, "No." That's
I'm sorry. Who? No.
So I
like
chose.
if he is actively involved in the production of this show, I have faith for it. But if he's not, and he's just there as like we hired him to do a thing.
Yeah. the reason I chose this article is to kind of also talk about another announcement that they made that they are going to be re-releasing Phantom Menace on May 3rd
yeah.
in theaters. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
The fact
mean, I'd
that
watch
that's
it.
the 25th
I'm going to see that.
anniversary.
I'm going to go watch that movie in theaters for sure.
Do you know
Yeah.
how? You know what's funny is I remember one of the first things I remember about Phantom Menace. I don't know if I actually saw it in theaters now that I think about it, but I can remember this because I was 4 years old, and my little sister was being born because she's 4 years younger than me. Right? I had to stay at like my preschool teacher's house because my parents had to go to the hospital, and the next day I went to preschool. I had a brown paper bag lunch with a little peanut butter jelly sandwich in it and a fucking fruit by the foot that was Star Wars themed with a battle droid on the wrapper. I remember that. That was in 2000,
cool.
right?
Those are cool.
It's
Yeah.
God,
funny.
that was the coolest shit ever.
It's funny when you say that. I'm thinking of like, I don't know if you ever watched Internet Historian, how whoever he does videos of him as a child, it still has his like hide the pain Harold face, but on a child. So I'm just imagining like a child with Zay's face, like full beard and everything. That's what I'm thinking when he tells that story.
Oh, God. It's just like I go to school and I go, oh, fuck yeah, fruit by the foot, Star Wars, yeah.
Star Wars. Give it up, bitch.
There's a battle droid on this. It's green and has sugar on it. God.
But yeah, I was also let's see. So yeah, I would have been 4 when the movie came out, and so I
Oh
don't
God,
remember.
I'm the old. Am I the oldest one here?
Probably.
Probably.
Oh God.
Yeah, you are, buddy. It's okay. I don't remember seeing it in theaters. I remember seeing Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith in theaters. Because
I
I
saw
remember
all
standing
three
in
of them
line
in
with my dad
theaters.
for that. Remember that?
Yeah, I saw all 3 in theaters.
I will definitely go see
I
this
know
movie
for
in
a
theaters.
fact I saw the second and the third. I don't remember seeing the first, but I swear I did.
I had the first on
Yeah.
VHS. I remember that.
Okay, here's my. I'm not gonna. This is how old I am without telling how old I am. I've seen every Harry Potter movie in theaters when it came out,
Same.
Yep.
and I was still almost a teenager when they first came out.
I remember waiting in line for the 7th
I don't know
book
that,
at a
but-
bookstore.
Yeah,
I remember
my
that.
my mom and I read those books religiously, so like I remember getting the new ones, and she and I, by the end of them, we ended up getting 2 copies of each book because we both wanted to read them at the same time. So we would read them and see who could finish it first.
I want to
Yeah,
go.
who won?
Yeah.
Who won most of the time?
Who won?
Tell us.
Most of the time, me. As funny as that is.
So I want to go see this in theaters, and it's not for the reasons you think. I kind of want to do it out of spite. Just because I want this movie to make a profit, because I know that the Rey movie and probably even the Mando movie isn't going to make a profit.
that's
You know
fair.
what?
I want to go see
Neffy.
this in theaters so I can contribute to the cause.
We need
That's
to
fair.
do this though. We need to do this. We need to like get together and go to the movie either separately or as a group. Cosplaying as a Gungan.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Like specifically a Gungan.
dude, that's gonna take a lot of work. You gotta get a mask for that.
I mean, we could literally just go get a shitty one from like a dollar store, I'm sure.
Yeah, you could.
Get one from
yeah.
Spirit.
Just order a Jar Jar Binks latex mask.
If I did that, I'd go as
Amazon.
Darth Jar Jar.
Bro, I had a Darth Maul latex mask growing up. All right, so
Oh.
I got one from Goodwill because that's where my parents worked when I was a kid. They worked at the fucking Goodwill, and they got him in, so they got a bunch for free, which basically means he stole them because my stepdad's a dick. But so he takes a bunch of these Darth Maul masks. My little brother's maybe like 2 years old, so he just started to walk around and amble into shit. And my dad comes home. He's like, "Oh, I got you Star Wars stuff." And I'm like, "Cool, thanks." And I put it on. I was like, "Oh, Darth Maul, that's cool." And I put it on, and I turn a corner, walking to my little brother, and he fucking shits himself. Literally shits himself all over the floor, screaming, "Oh my god!" And he runs right into the wall. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Speaking of Darth
Anytime he
Maul,
wouldn't listen, that was what we would do. We'd put the mask on and make him do shit.
speaking of Darth Maul, you know who needs his own Star Wars project?
Darth Maul.
Sam Witwer. Motherfucker needs his own thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Dude,
Sam Witwer, he's the voice of Darth Maul in the Clone Wars. He's also the voice of Starkiller in Force Unleashed.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he's
kinda cool,
awesome.
actually.
Yeah, he also knows his shit. Like,
He does.
he knows more than Dave Filoni does. I know that.
Darth Maul was my absolute favorite character. When he died at the end of Phantom Menace, I was actually upset. Because, like,
I
he
mean,
was such
he's
an
good.
awesome character.
And that's
And
another
then,
thing. There's another
bringing
thing
him
that-
back was cool, but, like, it wasn't quite the same.
Bringing it back, okay. Here's one of the things. This is where I'll agree. It was one of the things Disney did right. Is bringing Maul back was pretty cool. I'm just saying, if nothing else, for his ending in Rebels, the fight against Ben Kenobi in Rebels is one of the greatest lightsaber duels ever in Star Wars. From just from a technical perspective, just from like understanding how lightsaber combat works, understanding from that perspective, it's one of the best duels, even though it's like 5 seconds long.
Yeah, so I saw someone do a bit of a breakdown of that fight, right? Because there's a moment early on where he takes on where Ben takes on Obi-Wan's stance, right, that he used in the Clone Wars, and he goes, "Wait, no, we tried this, it doesn't work," and then he switches it up to Old Man Ben's stance, and as soon as that attack hits, Maul realizes, "Oh shit, this isn't some vagrant in a desert. This is a Jedi Master that I'm dealing with."
It's even better than that. So it starts off, Maul starts his original stance. So Obi-Wan starts with his Sarisu stance. Then Maul switches his stance to one that he used later. And then so Ben actually switches to the Ataru stance, which is what Qui-Gon used. Which is technically also Ben Kenobi's stance, but it's an Ataru stance, which is what he used when he fought him the first time. Darth Maul doesn't switch up his style again. He intends to go for the attack. And then he tries to do the attack he used against Qui-Gon,
Yeah,
and
and
fucked
it
him.
fails. And it's
because he tried to bait Ben into that.
it's brilliant. God damn, I love that fight.
No,
Yeah,
it was
that
so
was cool.
good.
That was good. I like that.
God.
I actually rewatch that every now and then, just
I
for
love
shits
that
and
fight.
giggles.
So it's see, Disney's done good things. I can say that. They just also done a lot of shit. Especially
I like it. I feel like Neffy's soul just kind of like splintered off and like
So-
pieces just curled off into a corner and died after hearing that.
So
Like,
here's-
be
We
excited.
just pick up the
is-
little pieces every now and then.
every now and then he just shaves off a little bit of that soul. Just
So
to
my
give Disney some
theory,
props.
my theory on why Rebels was one of the only really good Star Wars things Disney did, right?
Seasons
It
3
was-
and 4.
Yeah,
We'll be honest. Season
yeah.
3 and 4 were good. Season 1 was just episodic TV bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it was geared for children.
Yeah,
in the
season
beginning.
2
That's
was
what it
kind of better, but it was also mostly geared for children. 3 and 4 are brilliant.
But the
That's when they had a
reason
fan base.
that it was good, it wasn't just that they had a fan base, but it was also before Disney went, we can make a lot of money off of this by slapping this label on here. Because they kind of left those people to do what they wanted with it.
You are absolutely correct.
That's exactly what it was.
And
Because
there
then
was
they
a-
went, we can make money. And then they went, bam, make a new trilogy.
Then they started getting into like, oh, we need more inclusivity in this. Let's not worry about the people who are here already who are doing a good job. Let's replace them with a bunch of people so we can look good on the media.
We can tell people there's no source material if we just get rid of all the source material.
Fucking Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
There are no books or comics or anything to draw from for reference. Motherfucker.
Could have gone to my middle school library and proved her fucking wrong
I'm
because that was what I
Right?
read.
Yeah.
The Jake and Jaina stories, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. I had to stop. I was really running through the expanded universe timeline. I mostly did I read the Rogue Squadron series, the X-Wing series, and then I had to stop because the audiobooks they have recorded are the older ones, the ones that are abridged, and I hate them. I hate them because the guy who records it, this is recorded before the movies came out, so he pronounces Coruscant as Coruscant, and I fucking can't stand it.
Coruscant.
But
Everybody back on the bustling metropolis planet
Of
of Coruscant.
But also,
Coruscant.
Random House Audio is really good about their audiobook, so they're doing another one. They're redoing I, Jedi, which is the one where Corran Horn from X-Wing becomes basically a Jedi, and they're re-recording that. They're re-recording that so it'll be actual stuff pronounced properly. So I'm waiting for that. That doesn't come out until May, or March. It comes out in March, so I have to wait to keep reading my series because I want to get to the Fate of the Jedi series and the Swarm War and all that, the Yuzan Vong War. I can't wait to get to the Yuzan Vong War. I'm so
You know
excited.
what? No,
guys.
I'm gonna say it. You know what we need? You know what we fucking need?
What's
We
that?
need a Star Wars game with the fucking Dead Legion.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
We need one. I would fucking play I've heard of people making there was
Wait.
like one that was talking
Yeah,
about it.
I thought someone
And-
modded the
No, it's
new
not a mod.
Battlefront 2 to
It's not a
have
mod.
thing like that.
It's not a mod. There's
Oh.
there's people there from the ground up have made a Dead Legion game where you're a lone stormtrooper on an Imperial cruiser and
With a bunch of zombie stormtroopers.
with a bunch of fucking zombie stormtroopers. And
Yeah, I saw
I
That
saw
needs
a
more
video something
backing.
about
long
that.
time ago.
that
Fuck.
needs more thing.
The
personally.
audio book of Death Troopers, the novel, is, I can genuinely say, one of the scariest things I've ever experienced. It is so unnerving because the way Random House Audio, shout out to those guys. They do great work on their audiobook productions. They make it seem like you're listening to mini movies. You are listening to him reading voice lines, and you can hear in the background people screaming and rattling and shuffling, and you can feel there are zombies everywhere on this motherfucking ship. It's brilliant. Mwah.
That's
I love good stuff.
amazing. Oh,
Good stuff
God,
is so
I'd-
good.
I
It
have to look
reminds me
into
of the
that
King
now.
of Pigs. The way you explained that to describe that actually reminds me of the King of Pigs. But
I
that's
can't
totally
recommend to you
different.
guys enough. Just go on Google Play Books and just buy the audiobooks, and you can listen to them which is why I do. I listen to them while I'm working, and I've spent the last 2 years just listening to good Star Wars, which is the only reason I can stay sane in these crazy times.
I feel you. I do Warhammer. I listen to a lot of Warhammer books. I'm about to get the Flight of the Eisenstein.
I haven't actually listened to an audiobook.
How do
in
you feel
years.
about the Warhammer show coming up?
Bro, I'm fucking excited for it. Henry
Oh,
Cavill is the one that's
yeah.
in charge of it.
I-
I'm excited.
No,
also have high
with
hopes for
Henry
that.
Cavill at the head. Fuck
He's
yes.
he's in charge. He's in complete creative control of the entire show. He's producer, he's director, he's also in the cast. They haven't said who he is, but I can guarantee he's the fucking emperor because who else would he be? And it's the fucking original Horus Heresy. It is the Horus Heresy.
You know what?
It's starting with Galaxy Burns, going up to the first 3 books: Death of God, False Gods, Galaxy Burns, and Horus Heresy, and it's gonna lead into a segue into the Flight of the Eisenstein, and it's gonna be fucking amazing.
I've been trying to find a good way to get into 4K and or
me
40K, and if this is what he's doing, down, 100% down.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
there
probably
for
going
it.
to be the
I would
way
actually
I
get into it
is
too,
40.
yeah.
I am so going to watch that show because I'd love to get into 40K, but like there's
Like
a lot. There's
I
a lot.
already I watch a lot of lore
Dude, there's
videos
78
on, like,
books.
TikTok, but
Yeah.
I need
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I know it's a little off subject from Star Wars, but I'm gonna tell you right now. If you want to watch lore videos, you want to get into the background meat of Warhammer 40K, Luton. Watch Luton on YouTube, and then you have Luton and West Hammer. Those 2 guys are the West Hammer is like if you want to have a good story and you want a good explanation, and he's really animated. If you want to hear straight up facts and how things work and all the like heavy lore shit, 100%.
Andy, by all means, go on tangents, buddy. The whole we're the show. We're the show. The
you know
news
how
articles
I
are
just-
just-
It's Star Wars.
just the
It's
basis.
Star Wars. I don't want to get into Warhammer because
Yeah.
if we get into Warhammer, I'll be in Warhammer all day. I promise you.
So
I
earlier-
fucking no.
That's why I
have
did a Star Wars
five-
podcast because I do that with Star Wars.
I have a 10,000 point fucking Necron army. I have a 5,000 point fucking Smurf army. I have a 2,000 point Death Guard army. I do nothing but play video games, Magic the Gathering. I play Pokemon. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then if I have time, if I can get anybody to play, because it's really difficult, especially where I live, to find some fucking person who actually wants to play Warhammer, I will sit at a table and play Warhammer all day. It's like chess on crack. It's amazing. I love Warhammer. The story behind, oh no, like I was just talking about the King of Pigs. The King of Pigs is the most fucked up horror besides, there's another one that's like, Event Horizon. There's another book that is just like, kind of like Event Horizon, but we'll get into that in a minute. The King of Pigs is one of the most fucked up horror stories narrated. You know that guy, you see him on, he's doing like, he does a lot of narrations and he's got like an English accent. He's got a scruffy beard, he's a little skinny. I don't remember his fucking name.
Oh, you had
but
me
he
at
got his
Michael
first
Caine first. That's what I thought
Right?
first.
So he did his very first Batman. Master Wayne. So he did his very first paid thing where he does audio to narrating shit. And he did the King of Pigs. And the King of Pigs is so fucking scary. Like it's fucking scary. Like you're talking about Death Guard. No, fucking, like, it's up there. It's on par with that. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, that sounds like the King of Pigs. Like, the whole book is about this guy who works in a factorium world where his life, day in and day out, is he goes to work and he slaughters pigs.
Question.
Yes.
Because there's a guy on TikTok that I see videos all the time, and 90% of his shit is he's reading and voice acting speeches from like Warhammer 40K stuff.
That's him. That's the guy.
Yeah, so it's I think it says Christopher Tester.
Yes.
That's him?
That is
Because I
him.
watch his shit all the time.
He
'Cause
does
he's
the voice act. He's the
fucking
voice narrator.
amazing at
He is the
those.
narrator. Yes, he is. Especially when he
Dude.
does Gazgul. When he does fucking
Oh.
Gazgul, it's so good. But he's the narrator for King
the
of Pigs. It is
emotion
one
the
of the
dude
best
puts
books
into
I've
his
ever read.
speeches.
They're fucking great.
They're so good. Watching, and some of the ones where he gets like the character's supposed to be angry, and you actually see him like spitting a little,
angry.
and it like
Yeah.
he gets like the little. It's like, god damn, he's into this.
So his favorite, what he said, one of his favorite roles to do is Gazgul, which is it's a mob boss orc. He's a black bones orc boss. He's one of the toughest,
Yes.
strongest orc bosses out there. He loves doing his that Gazgul's monologues.
Yeah, well, so
Well,
he
he
does the voice modulator thing where he lowers his voice a little bit to make it better.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, they're
He
always
is the
so
narrator.
good.
They're good. He is the narrator for King of Pigs, and it is the best, one of the best fucking narrations of any horror story for Warhammer I've ever heard. And there's some
God.
fucked up Warhammer stories, like the Watcher in the Rain, King of Pigs, There's another one I can't remember. It's like what you do when you're at rest. Like it's a thing. It's a word. I can't remember the word. But there's one where like trapped on a space station. It's very Event Horizon. But King of Pigs is, I've said it like 1,000 times. So
I'm
Like the
glad
whole-
you guys. I'm glad you guys are super excited. I gotta point this out, Matt.
What's up, buddy?
Can you click a little quieter, bud?
No.
no, he's clicking. Yes, the clicking.
Sounds like we've got a goddamn stenographer for the stream.
I mean, we might as well. Yeah, click.
I'm surprised I don't hear a ting.
I can get one. I can pull one
Right?
now.
Get a typewriter.
Uh,
So
here,
the
hang
thing
on.
I will
I
take
can-
this moment so that we can segue to our final topic
All right.
of the day, which is this, I'm sad Jomi's not here because he was the one who's been watching Boba Fett.
Oh,
Star Wars now has a great reason to bring Boba Fett back 2 years after his Disney Plus disaster. There's two things about this that I thought was interesting. First of all, this is Screen Rant. Screen Rant usually is on the side of like, you know, the industry. They like to like pad Disney's failures. So the fact that they actually acknowledged that Boba Fett was a Disney Plus disaster is astounding to me.
Yeah, I mean, it is really bad.
The second thing is they're talking about bringing him back in the Bad Batch, I think.
Yeah.
yes, yeah, that's what it is.
Which, I mean, is a good thing because they can bring him back a little earlier. And then he could be back to being like a Bantha Boba Fett. Like a Bantha.
Oh my god.
Oh, like
yeah.
a bantha. Oh,
No, he'll be
Jesus.
actual Boba Fett. Like,
Yeah,
So-
back when he was an actual bounty hunter.
yeah, like he was back when he was a badass. So, yeah. I thought this. First of all, I can't believe they actually acknowledged that Boba Fett was a disaster because it was. Here's the thing: Boba Fett is not the worst. Like I said, I hate Kenobi and Ahsoka a lot more. But like, I think Boba Fett probably takes third place. Mando season 3 was actually worse than Book of Boba Fett. I can say that.
That's a
What?
shame.
Yeah, Mando season 3, just a lot of nothing happened, and it was Boba Fett was fun. I won't ever rewatch it. Like there were moments in it, I'm like, that's pretty cool. You know, the part where it was Mando season 3 part 1, that was pretty
much,
fun.
yeah.
Don't know why the hell Mando has a Naboo starfighter because that's a stupid move for a bounty hunter. Let's get a ship that
It
can't
really-
carry
it-
anything.
Yeah, it really
Right.
was not the greatest move, but it was kind of cool. It was the whole. This is a play on fixing up a motorcycle. That
No,
was the whole thing.
It's that, but it's also foreshadowing that he's no longer going to be a bounty hunter.
True, I guess. To a
It
point.
is because
Which is dumb because
a bounty
that was a
hunter
cool
is
concept.
it was a great concept, but he went from having a big ship
I
that
mean-
can transport things to I have this one ship that only fits him and Grogu. So
To be
because of that,
fair-
it's pretty obvious that it's this foreshadowing that he's
There's-
going to completely be done with all that.
So, I mean, to be fair, most of the Mandalorians that still existed after the Purge went into almost exclusively bounty hunting because it was a good way to make money, do what they were good at, and then also still kind of be somewhat in hiding, right?
Bounty
Yeah,
hunting and
'cause they could just
mercenary work. That
go
was
around.
that was what Mandalorians have
That's it.
basically been doing for thousands of years. They fight.
True.
They fight.
True
That's
enough.
what they do.
Especially the Watch, the children of the Watch, that whole thing, which is what he was.
So
Cultists.
here's one of my biggest issues with Book of Boba Fett is season 2 of Mandalorian. The ending of season 2 was very well done, and most people want to think it's like just fan baiting, just jingling keys with Luke Skywalker, but it was a good arc. He sent Grogu on his way, and then in Book of Boba Fett, they decided to say, "Fuck that, let's bring Grogu back."
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
hang on. No, we've had this conversation, you and me,
Yeah,
because I liked that. Because what it was it was showing that he was, because it was a decision. He chose Mando over being a Jedi because
If they were
It
going to
was
do
a-
that,
that
they
was a
should have had him
meaningful
choose it at
decision.
the end of season 2. Because instead, that would have been a cool addition to the character arc. So instead, you have this large character arc of him learning to like Grogu and realizing, I need to let him go be him, fulfill his destiny. He's meant to be a Jedi. He's not meant to be a Mandalorian. So he has to accept that. He has to learn to love this creature and then let it go. And that's a beautiful emotional moment. And then in another show, they decide to say, yeah, fuck that. 2 seasons of character development is bullshit. We're just going to undo that. And then if you go into Mando season 3, you're going to be confused because you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett.
But that's not what happened. The whole thing of him getting him to the Jedi wasn't him realizing he was supposed to be a Jedi or anything like that. It was just the duty-bound thing of I have to either get him back to his people or train him as my own. Like when he handed him over to Luke, he really didn't want to. He did it because it was in front of him, and that's what his creed told him to do.
Well, it's a sacrifice. You know, it's a sacrifice that he had to make, which is good for character development. So I don't like it if you undo the sacrifice.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, and that's entirely fair. But they didn't make it Din's choice to undo the sacrifice. They made it Grogu's choice to go back to Din.
There's another.
That was the whole thing.
There's another reason why they chose to do it is because if Grogu's not in
money.
Marketing, yeah. We need Baby
I understand
Yoda.
that entirely.
We need Baby Yoda. That's the reason they did it.
Oh no, 100%. That's exactly it. But I still like that it's framed enough that it was his choice. He sacrificed being a Jedi, which is what he was essentially supposed to do from birth, right? To go be with this guy who just kind of happened to be like a blip in his overall arching lifespan because that race lives for fucking ever. But he chose to go with him because he loved the man.
It's like when you adopt a cat, but in reverse.
There's okay. Aside from the Grogu thing,
that can happen.
There's another thing that Mando season 3 part 1 and Book of Boba Fett did that I will never forgive. They decided to put Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker in a scene together, and
they never talk about Anakin.
They never talk about Anakin. That is
I was pissed about that.
We were robbed.
I was upset about that.
We did not get to see Luke Skywalker tell
talking about this.
Do what?
Dude, it's literally like, hold on, your last name is Skywalker?
Right?
That's all it would have taken.
We did not get to see Luke Skywalker tell Anakin's former Padawan who saw him fall that at the end of his life he was good.
Good again.
We got robbed. Fans had to make that shit up in their heads.
Yep.
No,
there's actually a comic strip about it. I've actually found that comic strip.
Oh
my god.
I like how Matt hasn't
we just assumed they would have done it.
I think he muted so he could type.
Oh, okay.
Huh? No, I'm still here.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just making sure you're okay.
Yeah, I did. I did have to type something though.
Oh, you're good. I'm just making sure you're alive. No, but we were wrong.
No, I died. I straight up just.
Snips should have had a moment.
Yep, they should.
And they didn't, and that was
robbed.
Yeah,
no, that
we were absolutely robbed.
I do remember
we never got it either.
People talk about.
We never got it because everyone forgot Luke Skywalker exists.
Yep.
That's another
thing. He was replaced with Rey.
There's another thing I hate about Ahsoka. For some odd reason, the threat of a former Imperial Grand Admiral returning to the galaxy, who is also probably keeping a potential Jedi captive, and Luke Skywalker is nowhere to be fucking found.
Like you would think he'd
because it's Ahsoka's show. Her name's on the title.
Yeah,
it has to be her.
Fuck that.
Ahsoka, not Luke Skywalker.
You know who shows up in like every expanded universe book at some point in time, even if it's not about him?
Not Luke Skywalker.
Luke goddamn Skywalker. That motherfucker shows up to a Rogue Squadron awards ceremony for no reason. He's just like,
because
hey Wedge, how's it
Skywalker
going?
is synonymous with Star Wars. That's
exactly.
That's supposed to be the whole thing.
Not
Why
to
do you
Disney,
think they
he's
went
not.
like, it's Rey Skywalker? Fucking
Ultimate Palpatine win.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that pissed me off.
Ultimate Palpatine win, you mean?
That pissed me off.
Palpatine?
Yeah, right? It's just like, oh no, the Palpatines infiltrated the Skywalkers.
That's the Palpatine
Also,
won at the Enterprise of Skywalker as far as I'm concerned.
Which of them gave her permission? They were all Force Ether by that point, except for Leia.
No, even she was Force Ether.
Oh yeah, that is kind of weird to think about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was she at that point?
Yeah, because Carrie Fisher died beforehand, so they have her, just die. Well, I mean, she's not Force Ether, but she's definitely dead.
at the end of the trilogy, the only one of the 3 original characters they brought back that was still alive is the only one that's dead in real life. I remember that being a thing because I thought it was fucking weird.
You might
Yeah,
be
that
right,
is
but I'm
really
pretty sure
odd.
they have her die on screen. I don't know. I watched those movies
No,
once.
they,
No,
they,
like
they had,
10
they
years
had
ago,
a thing
and I
where
haven't
she
watched
was
them
in
since.
space and
No,
she was
she did
supposed
die
to
on
die,
screen.
but then she like brought herself back to the ship. Like she didn't die. She
She
should
did
have
die
died.
later.
Full
She
disclosure,
died
fellas.
later.
Full
She
disclosure,
died
fellas.
later on screen though.
I watched those movies once, and I seem to have blocked them from my memory. So
I
That's
deleted them.
entirely understandable.
there is a
I
mental
I
deleted
block
watched
on
that
this
movie
movie.
because it was on a marathon while I was like dad at one point, and he was asking me a bunch of questions about it, and I'm like, listen, man, I don't know how to explain this shit to you because I don't understand it either.
Okay, again, I actually like those movies, but again, because I don't associate them with Star Wars, they're just wizards with lightsabers. That's all I care about.
Oh, she did die at the end of the film. Okay.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I
she was
remember
in
being alive,
bed
but that's
on
all I
Endor.
The third movie was the worst of all 3 of them.
Hey, you
because
guys-
they tried to pack every fucking story element that they needed in the other ones all into one. So the whole movie was like, go, 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 go.
Hey.
Why are we over here? Go, 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 go. Why the fuck are we over here? Where's Ray? What's going on?
I want to see
Was the
Boba Fett show
whole
up at
movie.
the end.
Yeah, John Boyega was robbed too.
Yeah, he really was.
Thanks, China. Appreciate that. But hey, you guys want to see the epitome of Disney Star Wars or Disney Plus Star Wars shows? It's this
Yeah, sure.
this phrase right here. If you can read it.
Din Djarin and Grogu and Boba was sidelined in his own show.
Sideline in his own show.
Yes.
That
Oh
sums
my
up
God, no,
every
it's the
Disney
truth.
Plus series ever made, except actually no,
Yeah.
Ahsoka was too because it was about Sabine. I'll tell you what, Kenobi was about Reva.
Yeah.
Boba Fett was about Din Djarin and Grogu. Kenobi was about Leia and Reva. Ahsoka was about Sabine. Andor was actually about Andor, but it was also
Andor
kind of
was
about
good.
Mon Mothma. So
Yeah,
Andor,
well, I mean, that
Andor's
was
good.
an important side plot, was the whole thing.
This is another thing where I kind of shift off from the other side. I like Andor. I enjoyed Andor.
No, Andor was good.
I'm kind of excited for a season 2. Granted, like here's the thing: no one watched Andor because no one gives a shit about him.
I
the
haven't
problem.
seen any of it.
I mean,
I-
we all
Neither
know he
have I.
dies.
I don't watch
Yeah.
anything on Disney Plus.
Like, we all
I
know
refuse
he
to do
dies.
that.
Zay didn't even know it was the guy from Rogue One.
No, I didn't. Like, I got to the end, and the funniest thing is, when I saw him on Rogue One and I confirmed it was him, I remembered you saying that once, and I just apparently fucking in one ear, out the other, went, "Oh yeah, cool. Andor was in Rogue One." Hmm.
Shit just like fucking exploded in his mind.
I,
like a
I
cosmic
basically,
bomb.
I basically wrote it off because I didn't think I was ever gonna watch Andor at that point, and then I kept hearing good things about it. I'm like, fuck it. So when I was at my parents' place over the holidays for Christmas, we watched the whole series.
Oh, so essentially this article is about them bringing Boba Fett into the Bad Batch because it'll give him a way to connect with other clones, which Boba never liked other clones. I don't think that's a good
Yeah,
way to-
Boba was not.
Boba was
of
not a
Boba
fan of
Fett.
other clones. In fact, he would infiltrate clone facilities and literally kill them because he could.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, because he wanted to kill Mace. That's the reason why he snuck in. But yeah, he does not give a shit about other clones. I don't think giving him a heart-to-heart with Omega is going to help.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work at all.
That's
Honestly, I
another
think it's gonna
stupid
be
thing.
a
They
waste
decided to
of
make
time.
a female clone of...
And then say
I don't-
she was unaltered.
Yeah, I think Omega is a stupid plot point. But I mean, they have
So,
to give a protective element to the Bad Batch. Otherwise, they're just a bunch of hard asses, which is fine. You could just do an Expendables show in Star Wars. That's fine.
Right.
They decided to not do that, but I don't mind Bad
They
Batch.
should have.
Bad
Pretty
Batch
much
isn't
all the
bad.
Bad Batch has they have to end up dead by the end of the series.
Yeah,
right?
it kind of
Like that's a whole
season
thing.
2 kind of plateaus. Like season 1 is good. I like season 1. Season 2 just kind of plateaus, and I haven't watched season 3 yet. I guess I should give us homework for the next time we do this. We should probably watch it. I'll have to give people some Disney
I
Plus
don't want
access.
homework.
I don't want to pay for Disney Plus though.
I'll
I'm
have
not
to
paying
give-
for
I'll
it.
have
I'm
to
gonna tell
have
you
you
right
guys
now,
share Disney
I'm
Plus.
not going to.
That's
but
okay.
gonna
no,
go
we're,
a little
like,
We're
yellow.
still
my
we're still in
only-
our infancy in this podcast, so we don't have homework yet. But if for some reason, by some miracle, this channel blows up, you guys are gonna get homework.
I mean,
All
so
right, well,
my
once they get something
only
to do.
exposure to the Bad Batch was their appearance in Clone Wars. That's it. That's all I have.
I saw clips of it on YouTube once. That is about all I remember.
I actually like
one of the
Bad
guys
Batch, but
died.
I have to rewatch it because it's been a minute since I've watched.
Like I tried to start watching it. The problem is that I did this thing. I do this thing constantly where it's like way past when I should be going to sleep, and I go sit on my couch and I pop on a show, and that's what I did with Bad Batch. And so like the first 2 episodes rolled, and I didn't remember any of it, so I went and watched something else.
That's usually the thing. Honestly, the only reason I even care about the Bad Batch is because in the Star Wars tabletop game that's similar to Warhammer, I used to. I don't have them anymore. I used to have.
You mean the one we play? I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
No, I'm talking about
joking.
the Warhammer 40k. Tabletop.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. The Armada.
Armada. I used to play it, and I had a whole clone trooper army, and I had a Bad Batch unit set.
I want to find a group to play that with, because if you can homebrew it, you can mix and match eras. You can. I want to make a clone army with Mandalorians and a couple Jedi leaders. It's gonna fucking be sweet.
That'd be fun.
Oh,
He's basically gonna make the Star Wars equivalent of Fortnite. Just send them all in battle.
smashing my Hot Wheels together. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, pretty much. My friend had a 3D printer, so we used a 3D printer, and we got some homebrew stats for our Gungan army, and I just built a whole like 10,000 point Gungan army, and that was fun. It's fucking Gungans. You are stepping a big doo doo now. You are doomed.
Here's another issue with Book of Boba Fett. I think they kind of shit the bed with Cad Bane.
Yeah,
oh my god,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like when I saw originally that he was gonna be in it, I was like, "Oh,
They got
hell
the
yeah!"
voice actor, which
And then
was
it
cool. Granted,
happened.
like the special effects aren't great, which I can forgive, but his character didn't fucking do anything.
No,
Yeah, he just kind of walked around and
He was just-
I'm gonna shoot this person. I'm Cad Bane.
First of all, there's no
That
way.
was it.
There's no way he should have lost that shootout against Boba Fett. It's bullshit.
No, he shouldn't have. He should have
won.
won.
Also, they imply that he's dead, but there's also some like fan theories that he's live because he has a defibrillator on his outfit, and that was beeping. So there's theory that he's still alive. But what are they gonna do with him? He's so old in Book of Boba Fett, unfortunately.
I mean, but he's still pretty cool though.
Yeah, he's a great character. Like he's in Bad Batch too, and he's properly portrayed in Bad Batch
Yeah, he's awesome in Bad Batch.
because he wins the shootout with Hunter. So like he wins. He's way it's great. But yeah, Boba Fett probably the third worst Disney Plus Star Wars show, I can say definitively. Versus Kenobi, second is Ahsoka. It's probably the third. It's about to probably drop because Acolyte comes out in a couple months.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like
You are so lucky.
that was our pilot episode.
Yeah, that was me and Zay doing our practice episode that may or may not get uploaded, but we talked about that. I was thinking of bringing that article back, but we would end up talking about it. We can do it another time. They're probably going to announce something else about it in the near future, so when we do another episode.
I think the next time we bring up Acolyte should be when there's a little more solid information on it that isn't just, look what we did with the cast.
Yeah, Andy, that's the one that's directed by former Harvey Weinstein assistant Leslie Headland.
Oh, I'm good. No, I'm good.
That's all we
I know who
need.
that is. I'm good.
Yeah.
I know who that is. I'm good.
So, yeah, it's probably not going to be that great. The fun stuff about Disney Plus is we can't tell if it loses the money because they flub all their viewership numbers.
Well, of course they're gonna
Of course
flow. They're
they
not gonna
fucking
tell
do.
you what they
Yeah,
actually
because they
making.
can't admit how much money they fucking lost with these shows.
They
Ahsoka,
really can't.
I think like the biggest first time that I
Ahsoka
actually
had
remember
less
hearing
viewership
something
than
about
Secret
Disney
Invasion.
movie. Like the
What?
last time I ever heard
Really?
Disney
And Secret
losing
Damn.
Invasion
Invasion
has been
was-
declared a failure. So
Yeah,
what does that make
I-
Ahsoka?
Secret Invasion is bad.
Yeah,
I've never
so
seen it. I don't know anything about it.
it's bad.
It's the scroll invasion.
Thankfully, we're not a
on,
Marvel channel. I don't have to worry about Marvel's bullshit too.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. We're in Disney
We
pretty
could probably
deep
do a
here.
3-hour podcast if I started doing Marvel stuff too.
Oh yeah, no, we could absolutely do that.
Just see Mickey Mouse come down.
Oh
Oh my god! Oh my god! We can use Steamboat Willie now.
We
Forgot
can.
about that. That's
Yep.
fair
Yes, we
use,
can.
baby.
You can
Just
Yes,
swap
we
over
can.
to
across the screen
fucking
and still he's fucking
the South
whistling.
Park version of Mickey Mouse.
Uh-huh.
Then you get out there, you make me money.
I'm telling
What's
you right
South Park?
now.
What's South Park? Do I own that one? Not yet, sir. Oh,
Oh, God.
oh, Oh, damn. I talked to Zay about this, but I should have brought this up during our respawn section. Have you guys heard about the last earnings call for Disney?
I have not.
Essentially,
know.
Bob Iger came out and was like, so, a lot of the kids are into the video games. Maybe we should probably be in that space more. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Bob. It's not like you guys came in and got rid of fucking LucasArts. The
Right?
second you took
Oh,
control,
no.
God.
Oh, no. I'm already pissed about that. You're going to bring up that shit, and then they're going to fucking, oh, we want to be a part of video games. You dumb motherfuckers were! You had fucking all of it! You had LucasArts! You had the ability to make some of the best fucking remakes of the best fucking games that have come out for Star Wars since goddamn Battlefield 2, and you motherfuckers give us nothing!
dude.
And then it's, oh, we should have been in video games. Oh,
Could
that's
you
a-
imagine
No,
if
done.
Bounty Hunter or Racer or Rogue Squadron or Force Unleashed got the Resident Evil treatment?
Bro, they would be amazing, and
They
would
would
kill.
make so
What
much
about-
money.
Okay, so what about Republic Commando?
Republic
That's
Commando.
a fucking
You're
great
absolutely
game.
I
right.
love how he comes out.
I
now
have
with
it. I have it.
Republic.
I have it on my
Yeah.
Xbox.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Right
switch.
now.
I'm gonna switch back over to this tab.
I
We're going back to
have
this.
I have Republic Commando. It is sitting right here on my fucking desktop.
It's
I've
on-
never played it. But here's the thing that got me, right? I think I got it for free on Prime Games.
I got it in a
something
bundle.
at one
I got it
point.
in a Star Wars bundle.
Yeah, right. Like I've got that and Jedi Knight Academy and
I
Jedi
bought mine.
Outcast. So
I've been playing Jedi Knight Academy in VR,
Aha.
which is bananas.
I've heard you said it's an interesting.
It
port.
is bananas because I can't play it
But,
on desktop because I'm not a desktop player. I don't use keyboard, so it's really hard to map controller to those games. So it's just I can't.
Yeah,
I
older
can't play
games
them.
have.
Yeah, it's very difficult to
Which
map
is
a
so
controller
weird
to 'em.
because there was a console version of it.
Yeah, but like the PC version, you have to map each individual button, and I don't know how to map
Oh,
it
weird.
effectively. So, yeah, but I played in VR, which is fucking great.
So, one of my favorite things, Republic Commando will always live in my memories forever, including the fact that, so I don't remember what the fuck it was. It was an old Star Wars comic book, right? Like my uncle got it for me for my birthday because my uncle might be the biggest Star Wars nerd I've ever met in my life. He has a trunk full of Star Wars memorabilia and shit. He has a life-size wall hanging of Han Solo frozen in carbonite that he convinced his wife to hang in their closet. And he has all the posters for all the movies signed, and he has an actual prop hilt of Anakin's from the movie sets in a glass case.
Oh, I'm gonna pause real quick right there because I gotta tell Matt and Indy about it because I told you about this last week when we did our thing. Guys, I found a guy brought in a bunch of stuff to my card shop where it was like Star Trek and Star Wars stuff. It was mostly Star Trek, but he has the original Burger King watches from 2005 for the original trilogy and the prequels. All the tin cans that had the watches in them from Burger King, and they're sealed, and I got them all for $20.
Damn, bro, that's
They're
money.
on my shelf now.
No,
They are. I told you about that, Zay, didn't I?
I know you didn't. I
Did
mean,
I
you might
not?
have mentioned
Oh,
something,
God.
but I didn't remember you telling me you
But
got it for $20.
When I do my new setup, they're gonna be right behind me, baby, right next to the Mando
yeah,
helmet.
no shit. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'm so
That's
excited. But they're
awesome.
sealed. They haven't been opened yet. They're beautiful cans. They're back when fast food restaurants gave a shit about the toys they handed out.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
the old Pokemon Gold, the fucking Pokeballs with the gold.
Remember when they used to go Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
Yes,
Yu-Gi-Oh
that's what
cards?
got me started on Yu-Gi-Oh shit. I have a full fucking binder and a half in my nightstand,
But
though all my trap and spell cards don't have a slot.
mean,
yet.
with
I'm
this
sorry,
fucking
Zay.
anniversary
I
shit
interrupted
they're
your
doing-
story, but
Yeah, no. So my uncle, who's huge, massive Star Wars nerd, right? He got me a Star Wars comic, like 2 of them, I think, for my birthday, as well as, and I don't know what happened to this, but it was like one of the first 10 issues of Batman, like low serial number in a plastic sleeve. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know where that book went. It had been on a shelf in my old house. I don't know where it went. I'm really sad about that. But anyways, the Star Wars one was like Clone Wars story of Anakin and Obi-Wan, but dead center in the middle was an ad for Republic Commando. And this was back in that era, right, where they would put ads in your comic books for shit like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And I kept like, I begged my parents to get it. I read that comic book all the time to make sure I like left that page open when my parents saw it around my birthday, kind of thing, right? And I never got that
photocopied
game.
it, sent it to Santa.
Right? I never got that game though. I never got that game. I wanted it so bad. So when I saw that bundle on Prime for cheap as shit, I was like, yes, get it. And then I haven't opened it yet.
This is
That's usually how that works. It's such a great game, though. I have it. I play it. I also have pretty much every Star Wars game ever.
was it multiplayer or
I
was
need
it
to
only
get
single
into a little
player?
bit of more.
it was
It was
single
multiplayer. No, it was multiplayer, but it was couch co-op.
Yeah.
It was
Couch co-op?
yes.
The way
It was
I
couch
was going to
co-op.
say, Zay, is if you wanted to, I bet we could probably Steam remote play that motherfucker or do
Probably.
couch co-op together. Because I
Well,
haven't
it's-
played
it's
it yet
through-
either.
It's through Prime though, is the thing. Can you
Oh.
do?
I have it on
Steam?
Steam. I have it on Steam, so if you can remote play. Yeah, you
I
can-
thought I got it through Prime.
I mean, I have it through Steam. So, like, if you
Well-
could do Steam remote play, you and me, we could do couch co-op on that bitch.
Hang
I'll
on,
gladly
let me
do that.
see. Because I know some of my Star Wars stuff is through Prime because I got it for hella cheap off of one of the Twitch Prime drop things, right? Steam isn't launching. Whatever, I'll look into it later.
Let's
Steve's
see.
been messing
What
up
do I
lately.
have? Let me see. What Star Wars games do I actually have? I
I only have Fallen or not Fallen Order. Yeah, I think it was Fallen Order and the classic Battlefront 2. That's the only two Star Wars games I have.
I have to
and
set my
the Old
Xbox
Republic.
into. I have to set it to alphabetical because I have so many fucking games. If I don't, I'll never find what I'm looking for. I know it starts with an S, so I gotta go all the way down to S's. It's like 1,000 games. Give me a second.
Well, I found a Steam community guide that says, want to play, or think it's impossible to play multiplayer? Think again.
Gotta love the fucking community.
Galaxy Game System folder, blah, 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 replace them, download. Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
I
blah,
definitely
blah.
have it through Prime Gaming. Damn it.
Well, there is a way to set up a multiplayer
Remember
server,
when
so
Prime
we could
Gaming
definitely.
used to let you
I
have
got-
that shit on any platform? And
I
then
got
they came
Star
out with
Wars
their own game mod?
Battlefront 2, Starfighter, Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, KOTOR 1, KOTOR 2, Clone Wars, Force Unleashed 2. I already said Star Wars: The Old Republic, Battlefront 2, Star Wars Racer, Squadrons. I have Jedi Academy. I have pretty much all of them. I think I'm missing one or
Nice.
two.
Oh my god, the bundle for Star Wars games on Steam is $225.
Yeah, because it's all of them. It's even the freaking pinball games. Even the pinball
Yeah,
games
it's
are
all
in
of
there.
Oh, it's even the original Battlefront 2 and stuff.
Yeah.
Starfighter.
Talk about
KOTOR.
pinball. I found a fucking
Dark
Star Wars pinball
Forces?
machine. Yeah, Dark Forces is great, bro.
Yeah, Dark
Dark
Forces.
Forces too.
Ooh, Dark Forces is another cold.
Yeah,
that
damn.
one needs an HD remake.
Oh
That
god,
does.
it's the Lego series too. Okay, that's why it
yeah,
kind of
if
pads
Dark
out a little.
dude, if they remake even the original X-Wing games too, X-Wing and TIE Fighter,
Yeah.
dude, if those got the Resident Evil treatment, they would fucking make so
They
much
would kill.
money.
Episode
kill.
1
So much money.
Racer.
Oh, dude, Racer's one of my favorite.
Oh,
I had that on
God.
N64. That's one of my favorite games.
I
growing
love
up.
Racer.
I
I have it
love
on my
Racer.
Xbox.
But yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. I think
Yeah,
hour and a half in.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good whenever y'all.
That's
I
not
think
bad
you guys-
for 3 topics.
I think we did pretty good. What do you guys think? First episode? Yeah, no.
I had a blast.
I had a great time. This is fun.
True to form, the tangents were many, and the the train of thought had no tracks.
Joke's on you. My thought train never stops.
That's why I can't sleep at night.
All right. Well,
I mean, it's not wrong.
if we were an actual like a channel going live, we'd read super chats or something. But that's way down the line. That's that's in the future. We'll get
Yeah.
there. We'll get there, guys. I have faith. But for now, we'll just end it there.
I mean,
we'll start.
I have fun, so I don't care.
We'll start from the end. Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch whenever I actually stream because got a lot of shit going on. But
where
yeah,
at?
Twitch.
We're at.
Twitch Mattchuprime.tv.
There you go.
There you go.
Zay, where can people find you?
You can find me in a number of places. Primarily, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, and Instagram. All Xeadau, Xeadau. There will be more on that soon. I'm working on things.
I will put links to all of your channels in the description. Just so we can.
Yay!
Because some of you have difficult to spell names.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
no, that's why I spelled it.
All right, Indy. What about you? Where can people find you?
Oh, Indy, me, Twitch, Indiana TTV. I'm on TikTok, Instagram. It's all Indiana TTV. I'm also on Xbox. So if anyone wants to play video games, let me know. Tell me what you are first and what game you have, because I don't have a lot of friends.
You have me, bud.
I have this small group. That's pretty much it.
And
We're the
soon,
best of friends. We're
We
all
are.
having fun together.
and soon, hopefully, you'll be able to find us again on Secrets of the Outer Rim. Because
Right?
we're getting back to that.
I
soon.
have a new accent. I also have a canon reason why his accent constantly.
You know, it's going to be
changes.
really difficult when I have to port all those over from the Nephilim channel to this channel.
Yep.
That's
You'll
going to be
fine.
weird.
You'll be fine.
I'm just gonna have
I'm
to
still
just
working
start,
on
or I'll
editing,
just start
but-
from season 2 here and be like, hey, if you want to watch season 1, go on this channel. I'm missing like 6 episodes, but it's over
We'll
there.
figure it out.
I thought I got you.
You got them. I just have to go over and re-edit them. It's a lot of
that
work.
explains it. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't edited anything, so I mean, I'm on the top.
This is why I don't edit. Everything is fresh and uncut.
I want to edit.
I don't
things.
edit because I don't have the software and I'm too lazy to do it.
Fresh
That's
and
also
uncut.
why I don't edit, but I'm also just lazy.
Fresh and
Niffy
uncut.
and
The
I
title of
talked
my
about this.
autobiography.
Niffy and I talked about this in the pilot too, or after the pilot, I think, in our little after talk. But this is something I'm working on getting to a point that I can do. But once I get to the point that I'm making money with my current job and everything, because once I hit full wages, I'm set pretty much. I want to see if I can commission someone to animate our fucking Star Wars stuff, our Secrets of the
Bro,
Empire.
that
I
would be
love
amazing.
To see some animated
Because
shit.
I want to see if I can get that done. And if so, you know, like obviously we'd probably have to chop it. Like I was thinking like Vox Machina style, right? Taking the
Yeah,
critical role
probably.
stuff and swapping and making it more of like a show.
I don't want to ran in your parade say that's going to be that's a large effort there. That's going to take some
I know.
work.
I know. I'm very well aware. That's why I was talking about commissioning people, and it wasn't going to be like it's going to be minimum 6-7 years in the future, right?
Yeah, for sure. When this
Like,
channel reaches 1
it's-
million subscribers and we can get an actual crowdfunding
It's
project.
just
in place.
something I'm working on.
I have optimism, guys. I'm optimistic.
Could you imagine
Listen,
trying to fucking edit
Listen,
the fucking
I'm trying
Zell's
to be.
voiceovers with his accent constantly changing? That'd be fun.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
still
it would
working
be
on the actual
interesting.
novelization of our first playthrough. That's taking some time. So
There's gonna be a novel. I want to read it.
I'm writing it currently. I'm gonna give it the Random House audio treatment too. I'm gonna make it into an actual audiobook too.
Nice.
Yeah, and then if it goes well the first time, I'll go back over and we'll just have you guys actually record your own lines.
And to be fair, my original thought process, line of thought that got me into this is for when I start making the videos, I do want to try to commission someone just to animate like a little opening thing for all of our characters. And that got me thinking, why stop there?
Well, all right, fellas, this has been a blast.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all
Agreed.
for joining in, and we'll see you all next time on the Y Wing.